Hey there, it's Ross Tucker with my thoughts on the latest news around the National Football League, and there's lots of it as always. Let's start with a shocker that came down the pike recently with the 49ers naming John Lynch, the potential Hall of Fame safety, the Fox television analyst, as their general manager. John has no experience whatsoever. This seemingly came out of left field, but here are my thoughts. Number one, it's very clear that Kyle Shanahan is going to be the next head coach of the 49ers. He's currently the Falcons' offensive coordinator. They're playing in Super Bowl 51. This was his hire all the way. And what this tells me is that the 49ers are all in with Kyle Shanahan. What he wants to do, they are going to let him do it. He has final say and control over everything, and he wanted John Lynch as his general manager for whatever the reasons are. And there will be comparisons made to Matt Millen, John Elway, etc. This situation seems very different to me because it feels as if Kyle Shanahan clearly will have final say over trades, the draft, and the 53-man roster. The Indianapolis Colts also got their general manager. They got a good one in Chris Ballard, highly coveted for years. Ballard finally pulls the trigger and accepts one of these GM jobs that was being thrown at him. And there's a lot of reasons why. Number one, Jim Irsay has shown he's a patient owner. You have Andrew Luck as your quarterback, and he gets a mulligan with Chuck Pagano as his coach. Give Pagano a year or two to show what he can do, and then he'll get to hire his own head coach if it does not work out. In other news, we had the Pro Bowl on Sunday. And my thoughts on the Pro Bowl are that the Pro Bowl Skills Challenge was awesome, and the NFL needs more of that. As for the game itself, I can understand why youngsters like it, but most of us can tell the difference between that and a real game. And football just doesn't look as good when it's played at three-quarter speed. My suggestion would be for the Pro Bowl to actually be a flag football game, because then at least there's no pretense that there should be contact or that these guys should be hitting each other and that they're not really going all out. If it's flag football, it'd be interesting. You get to see their faces, they're running around, they're catching passes. I think it would just be a different environment, something that people would tune into, just curious to see how these guys look playing flag football. Anyway, that's my suggestion. Last but not least, it is Super Bowl week. Biggest news so far is the news coming from Tom Brady's dad, who just obliterated Roger Goodell on local television out there in the Bay Area, just calling him a liar, which obviously spices up one of the major storylines during Super Bowl week, which is what's it going to be like when Roger Goodell has to hand the trophy over to Robert Kraft, Bill Belichick, and Tom Brady. And what if Brady's the MVP and he and Goodell have to be at that breakfast the next day? Things could get awkward. I don't think Tom Brady's dad did Goodell or this storyline any favors. It'll be much talked about all week, and rightfully so.